Let's spend a few minutes talking about the specifics of sensory play. Sensory play supports the whole child. It is needed in our classrooms to counter the emphasis on seat time and academics. We all need time to play. The more senses we use, the better. Everyone has the same 5 senses, but we all experience sensory differently, particularly adults and children. Some adults do allow themselves to savor sensory experiences. Does anybody else still eat chicken legs with their fingers? Okay, how about spaghetti? See how quickly we lose some of our sensory inquisitiveness? Babies explore everything with their mouths. Maybe that's why we as adults still enjoy ice cream cones and popsicles, both a very oral sensory experience. Fine motor skills are defined as the coordination of small muscle movements, usually eye-hand coordination, that enable us to perform a variety of important tasks, tying shoes, zipping zippers, and turning the pages of a book. Gross motor skills involve larger muscles and include walking, running, pushing, pulling, and throwing. Sensory play that helps these skills include mixing and pouring and measuring and scooping. Of course, lifting, throwing, rolling, and any kind of water play are also developmentally correct. It goes without saying that most sensory experiences will include some kind of physicalness. Sensory experiences are usually open-ended. It is usually all about the process. Often there is not a product, although I've pretended to eat numerous mud pies in my career. But how children use the materials is more important than what they make with them. Encouraging children to think creatively in order to solve a problem or engage in make-believe helps them express their creativity and also builds their self-esteem. How do sensory experiences help children with social-emotional development? Sensory experiences often allow children to be in control of their actions. This boosts confidence, particularly in decision-making. It also encourages children to experiment. Usually, sensory play is more than the child alone. They are learning cooperation and collaboration. As children work together on a task, they learn someone else's view, and they learn to express themselves in a group. Taking turns, being helpful, sharing, being fair, these are all important skills in our world today. How do sensory experiences impact linguistic development? We learn vocabulary on the go through experiences. Who really understands slimy until you've touched something slimy? Sensory play encourages descriptive and expressive language. Those fine motor skills we talked about, pouring, spooning, grasping, these are all pre-writing physical skills. If you have no control over your wrist, you will never be able to hold a pencil. We used to use a manual hand juicer to help children develop that wrist movement needed to help learn to hold a pencil. To smell a fresh squeezed lemon or lime is also a sensory experience in itself. Children, and even some adults, retain the most information when they engage their senses. The most obvious cognitive skills developed with sensory play are problem solving and decision making. In addition, math skills are used in comparing and counting, one-to-one correspondence, timing, matching, sorting, classifying. We'll talk about science in our next module, but many activities have cause and effect, gravity, and different states of matter. Without realizing it, children grow into amateur scientists by making predictions and observations. Sometimes they even begin to analyze what they've accomplished. Allowing children to have sensory play helps them develop and refine the use of their senses. It's an opportunity for us to use inquiry-based learning. It's an opportunity for us to even expand our sensory awareness. My yoga teacher says, be present in each moment. This seems like an excellent piece of advice for sensory experiences. Enjoy each moment.